Hello, listeners, and welcome to Reliving the Extreme. And this week we are covering the episode of ECW TV from September 6th, 1994. Nate Maxson, your host, here with you, as always, joined by my brother Aaron.
Hello, everyone.
And a man we got to watch wrestle this week on the show, Mr. Chad Austin.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't look any more extraordinary.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I actually, once we get there, I'll get more into depth about it. Because didn't we already cover this?
No, I didn't even know that you wrestled Benoit on TV.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a long story there, buddy.
Well, the big one of the big things coming out of this episode is we are no longer covering NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling. It is now Extreme Championship Wrestling, which is actually even noted in the opening video that we have changed the name of the promotion. The show starts out with Joey narrating a video about all of our favorites, the Public Enemy.
Yeah, can't get enough of them.
The saga of the Public Enemy.
Yes, the saga of the Public Enemy in ECW.
That motherfuckers just must have lived like a block away from the studio. Just, good Lord, they just kept bringing them out.
I was going to say they are all over TV every single week.
I mean, do they work here? Like at the pawn shop, I mean.
Well, Johnny, best I can do is $250.
Yeah,
well, the
Johnny
beginning.
Grunge.
What's that, Aaron?
I was going to say Johnny Grunge is the Chumley of that pawn shop.
Oh, good Lord. That's pretty funny, though. Actually, I'm just a little bit too tired to laugh, but that's pretty funny. I'll tomorrow I'll pop for it.
Well, the gist here is this tag championship match. It was supposed to be the Public Enemy and Terry Funk and Cactus Jack. However, the story is Terry Funk missed his flight, so Cactus gets to pick a tag team partner. And in a nice touch, he drags Mikey Whipwreck out to the ring.
Well, what do you think happened?
Sick horse.
The classic sick horse. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, is that what it really happened? Was that what he said?
No, all they essentially say is that he missed his flight, I believe.
But... No. But I mean, obviously, like you're in the know. So is that what you think happened? Because it ain't the first time I heard the sick horse.
I don't know the story. Why Terry didn't show up.
Well, I pretty much have a couple of zeros why he didn't show up. I mean, if you want to know my opinion, but I mean, I don't know for a fact. I don't know that, you know?
Yeah. And I'm sure that was it because I can't think of any other reason. You know, it's not like Terry's a no-show kind of guy for just no reason at all. So
he could have been booked in Japan.
Yeah, and he's going to make a lot more money there.
I mean, I never even took that into account, like to think about like why he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Could he have been in Japan? Could he have been in well, Jesus Christ, if he was in Memphis, it could have been in Philadelphia. So, yeah, I mean, unless he was booked in Japan or it had a couple of zeros to do with it, then there's no reason why Terry wouldn't have been there because that's not Terry. You know,
right? Yeah.
But you missed part of it. Initially, Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, good Lord!
Was going to say that he was going to be Cactus's partner, and then the Public Enemy beat the shit out of him and drove him to the table because they're still trying to get Tommy over as like, you know, he's hardcore now. He's a tough guy.
Well, that's just tremendous. I mean. They're trying to get Tommy Dreamer over. Aren't they still trying to get Tommy Dreamer over? On Busted Open, they're trying to get him over. I mean, they're still trying to get him over.
And the man has made a career of trying to get over, has this Tommy Dreamer chap.
Yeah, he can't get over the stigma of the fact that he worked for the ICW for the Savoldi. He's still stuck in that hump. He's working Super Mario. And Archie Mitchell. There you go. Got it in.
There you go, Archie. That's your mention for the week. You're welcome. Well, the match itself, again, it's the Public Enemy defending the ECW tag titles against Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck. And before we go into any of the details here, Any overall opinions of this match, guys?
I think that Mikey, this may have been like the third match Mikey had worked, like this show, just based upon his ring wear. Like it looks like he's been just drug around, and beating the shit, and his shirt's all ragtag.
That's what I was gonna say. Everything's either ripped or doesn't. It looks like it doesn't fit right.
Yeah, like it's been ripped off of him, like just torn apart. Just I don't know. I don't work there.
This is one of my favorite ECW moments, and it's like really kind of the first, like Extreme Championship Wrestling moment. You know what I mean? Like it's the first angle they have on their new show, and I enjoyed this. I think the whole story they told in the match was entertaining. That's
Cactus?
Well, just everything like Mikey not wanting to be in there, and Cactus pushing him to be in there, and it's just everything about it. I enjoy
Cactus pretty much throwing Mikey into them, as the match progresses. Like Mikey doesn't want to be there, but Cactus is going to make him be there.
Yeah.
No, dude, I remember this like them promos, the one you're talking about.
Mikey likes it.
Oh no, they were like at like 3:00 in the morning, and I mean, I don't know about you, but like if you turn the camera on to me and tell me to be on, I'll be on. But if I've already did a 3-hour show, and then you want me to stick around for 3 more hours because you got to do promos, how good is that promo going to be? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Why didn't we do? It's kind of like, why didn't we do promos before the show? I mean, I don't know.
I don't think it was until about I was getting ready to leave before they started doing that. Like they would start doing them like 2 hours before the show. But that was when they had the fucking gangsters because they had to make sure they were even there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as they got them there, they're going to get them to the promos. Just get these two goofs over here to whatever.
There's one point in the match where the fans are chanting refund. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
It wasn't my match, was it?
No, it's during this match, and it's because I think the crowd was pissed because this match builds slowly, but like at the start of it, they're chanting refund, and it's because they're mad because Funk isn't there, and they're audibly, you can hear it, they're saying refund, and Joey's like, oh, the fans, they're chanting Mikey, like no, they're chanting refund.
Dude, is this the show that Terry no-showed because of Wing? Like, is this the one where he did a Japan tour just in the middle of nowhere?
Well, that is
Nate, you could probably figure that one out, right?
Yeah, I could get into the dirt sheets and see what it says there. I didn't think to look before the show, but it makes sense because I don't know that I can remember that there's another time where he's advertised for ECW and doesn't show.
And he don't burn bridges.
Right, yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. Either he was double booked, Paul never cleared it, with Terry or whoever, you know what I mean? And
right.
And it was just like one of them things where he was running a triple threat weekend of love sort of thing going on over in Philadelphia. and Terry was like, well, I'm working for fucking Victor over here. That's a very interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
Was he booked?
Just looking quick, says
knowing Paulie, he might have said Terry Funk was going to be there, even knowing he wasn't.
Oh, seriously? Yeah. I mean, that's another that goes without saying. I mean,
the whole idea could have been we're going to say Terry Funk's there, and it's going to be Mikey instead.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, Aaron. I mean, he totally could have said that. He knew he was going to be there, even though he was booked in the Mid-South Coliseum against Jimmy Jack Funk.
Funk might have not even known he was being advertised.
Oh, I mean, like I said, I don't think Terry Funk's the kind of guy that would just pretend like he wasn't booked and didn't show up.
Never came off like that kind of guy at all.
That's my thought, is that they were just like, oh, let's say Terry Funk's going to be there, and he's not even actually going to be there, I think.
Yeah, the sales at the jewelry store are a little off this week. We don't have the money. We don't have the money to pay for Terry Funk for.
But Mikey Whipwreck's already here, so.
Well, he's putting the ring up. So, we got Mikey Whipwreck.
But the match, like Aaron said, the match is good. It tells a great story. Joey's great on commentary in this. The whole thing, I thought it was really good, really well executed. Probably the best thing that we've seen from the Public Enemy so far.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is like the start of the like the good shit from Public Enemy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. These two fucking goofs. It took them a while to figure out like their spot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then once they figured out their spot, they really sunk their teeth into it. Correct? I mean, am I wrong?
Oh no, and that's what we've seen from them so far. There's been ridiculous. There's been decent. There hasn't been anything really good. This was really good. And as time goes on, they do get a little better. It's like we've always stated on the show. They were fine in ECW. It was just anytime they were plunked down anywhere else, it didn't work because they only worked in ECW. That's
But you couldn't take them out of the arena.
No, yeah, exactly. They were favorites of that crowd and that atmosphere.
I mean, everybody saw what the Japanese thing, and then the WWE thing.
Oof.
I mean, everybody saw all that,
and then them being the hip hop bushwhackers in WCW.
Well, I mean, I'm not even gonna like entertain that because that wasn't them.
Mm-hmm.
That was just somebody's version of them, of what they, you know what I mean? And then it was just Johnny and the other one just going, yeah, well,
Laddie, daddy, daddy.
That's a lot of zeros. we can do that, Johnny. That's a bunch of zeros.
Well, Aaron, any other notes on the match itself before we get to the finish?
Well, Rocco, he does like some old school crowd work where he's like, if you guys need to be quiet because Johnny can't concentrate, and don't call me jailbird, so they can all start chanting that shit at him.
I didn't even see that. They did that?
Yeah, right at the beginning of the match. Because I honestly, I think it was Rocco being a pro. Because I know we mock him or whatever, but Ted Petty was a pro, and it was right after the refund chant that Rocco got on the mic and started doing like heel crowd work. Because I think at the beginning of it, him being an old pro was like, holy shit, this crowd's already kind of this, and he probably knew, hey, the shit we got coming up's good. Like, I don't want to lose them early, and just did some old school like Memphis style heat, which was good. There's the spot where Mikey finally tags out and he runs away, and it's like he's supposedly running away from the match, but what he's actually doing is he runs away, and Joey's like, oh, Mikey ran away, he's afraid. Well, he comes back and he's got a board and he's smacking the Public Enemy with it, and Joey is putting over the fact that Mikey's finally become a man. He's finally standing up for himself, and Mikey is extreme, which I thought that was kind of fun. And this is the first match where Mikey's actually getting not
like quality offense.
Yeah, not accidental offense. He's actually like becoming a man, and like in this situation, he's like, I gotta nut up, or I'm gonna get fucking really beat up.
Yeah, because Cactus is going to beat him up if he doesn't.
Yeah, it's like not only is he going to beat me up,
not only my opponent's going to beat me up, but my partner's a fucking wild card, man. You don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I got two options here, pal. I mean, Mikey is like one of them. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like it's you slip and fell in the money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even saying it's a lot of money. It's just enough money that he secured his place on the card. You know?
Yes.
I would never go and say like he's a top guy. But but the ECW faithful, the family, you know what I mean? They loved him.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe not a top guy, but he is definitely in the ECW world. He is definitely one of the names that when you say ECW, he's one of the 10 guys you bring up.
He made, like you were saying, he fell into money or whatever. He made more money than he probably would have made if ECW wouldn't have existed.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's making. I'm sure he made more money than he's making now at Walmart. He has to be. I mean, even with Paul's phony check. I mean, he's going to the bank. He's paying $30 to get $60. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, how the fuck do you work here? Todd's giving you these goddamn piece of garbage checks that say HHG something on it, and you know what I mean. And he's running down to Todd's pawn shop to cash them,
and Todd's charging him 10% to cash it.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's store policy.
he just points at the sign. Sorry,
yeah,
buddy.
I mean it's 10%.
I can't break policy, but it's your policy. I can't break it, man.
I can't do it.
Dude, that's an episode of Seinfeld right there. Store policy, can't break.
If you can't do it, no check for you.
Well, how do I go? Like, how do I go cash this check? Like, I'm gonna have to drive all the way back to Baltimore, and then tomorrow I'm going to go to my bank. You know what I mean? It just seems like a runaround. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole runaround thing. Like, you're going to give me a check. Okay. You're going to give me a check, and I'm going to hope that it cashes because I have to run home as soon as I lose to the Rockin' Rebel. I got to drive all the way back to Baltimore and hurry up and cash this check before the bank account is dried up.
Yeah, I was going to say cash the check before they spend the money, and then the check's no good.
That's what I mean. Like, it's a whole game, right? Like, do I work first or do I get the check first? So I mean, either way, the car's still running. I got to get out of here. I mean, where's the Bank of America? That's the only thing you're asking anybody in the locker room, not where they're going out afterwards. Is, do you know where the nearest Bank of America is? And then you're in South Philadelphia.
I think you can only cash these checks at Chase Bank. I don't know.
What, Chase Me Bank?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's a rat race. You can only cash this at Chase Bank.
Yeah. No, I mean, I got to be honest. I've said it on this show multiple times. I've never had a check bounce. I never did. Mm-hmm. I mean, but then again, I wasn't making freaking, Rob Van Dam, Sabu, piece of shit Sandman money.
And let's be fair. I don't think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Chad, because obviously you would know more than me. I don't think ECW checks even started bouncing until after Todd Gordon was gone.
Oh no, they bounced.
Okay.
But it wasn't. It all depended on who you were. You know what I mean? It didn't start until the Sabu shit. It started with the Sabu shit, and then maybe you throw, what was it, 90, 95, 96. You throw Rob Van Dam in the mix or people like that. Like, do you think he bounced a check to Steve Williams?
I'm pretty sure he didn't bounce a check to Steve
I don't
Williams.
think he did either.
Steve Williams would have bounced him.
Because that gets you, I was going to say, that gets you a big bag of potatoes, pal.
Yeah, I mean, he found enough money at that fucking box office that he got enough dinero out of Kathy Fitzpatrick to pay for fucking Steve Williams. Yeah, that wasn't going to fly. And I wasn't even there, or I don't even know if I was there for Terry Gordy, because Jesus Christ, what do you think that cost him? That was probably a favor, honestly. I bet you he didn't even pay Terry Gordy. No, I bet you he didn't. I bet you Terry Gordy was paid by, what the fuck's his name? The Japanese dude. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but yeah, I bet you he was he was one of them deals where you put him on your show, we pay him, and and you put him on your show, and that's how ECW worked. There was way more of that going on than you guys even realize. When you started seeing all them guys like fucking the goofy monkey dude and Taka, you know what I mean, and all them other goofs, like it wasn't like they weren't getting paid by ECW.
It was essentially just those companies using ECW to get exposure in North America.
Yeah, but who did it benefit? It benefited everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, and the other companies were just like, I'm sure Paul's going, I don't fucking have any idea what these other companies are doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have a guy with a fucking monkey tail. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but
and then by '97 he's getting money subsidized by Vince, and then getting talent that way. He's getting talent and money from Vince, pretty much. I don't know if Vince was paying, say, Al Snow to be in ECW, or if Al Snow was getting paid by ECW.
It was kind of half and half. I would guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would guess it was. I mean, wouldn't you say that? It probably reads that way.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure
Al probably was one of those guys that had like a downside guarantee from the WWF, and they didn't have anything for him, and they didn't want him to sign with WCW. So they said, we have nothing for you. We're going to give you $500 a week. We go down to ECW, and Paul was probably giving him like $50 a show just for him to not be able to like go to WCW.
I can't even believe that Al Snow's name is brought up in that subject. Like, we don't want him to go. I mean, that's almost absurd to me. I could think of, 25 other guys that have worked there that you wouldn't want to go there, but we don't want Al Snow to go there.
How odd.
Yeah, I mean. Who's the guy with the goddamn cane and shit? Oh, Sandman. No, he will go there, but eventually. But we don't want Al Snow to go there. Yeah. Oof. I don't have to ponder that one for a while.
The finish of the match comes when the Public Enemy tries to hit the drive-by on Mikey, but Cactus Jack shakes the ropes, and Mikey and ruins that, and Mikey winds up getting the pin on Rocco, and your new ECW Tag Team Champions, Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck.
Yeah, that's right.
And the fans actually...
And the crowd goes bananas.
Oh, they lost their fucking minds. It was great. Like, this whole thing was great, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, Mikey's picking up steam. Cactus has gotten behind him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing seems just to be working. It's working, and it's just how like a guy like Mikey, you can't show. I don't know how to say this. You can't show him for too long on TV,
right? Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you show him for just a couple of minutes a week, and then people will go like, "Yeah, man, that poor kid, oh, he's taking a beating." But how the hell he pull that off? I don't know who's saying this, but I don't know what adults that doesn't know wrestling's fake is going. I don't know how he pulled this off. You know what I mean? But yeah, guys like us will go, that's good booking.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Yeah,
and
I liked it.
It is just like it was for the earlier days of this promotion, and just like it will be later with Terry Funk. It is also very fortuitous and lucky for ECW.
Would you just call me? Yes.
It is very good and lucky for ECW.
Yeah, thanks for diving it back down, buddy.
It's good. He's good. He's very, very good that they were able to get Cactus Jack into this promotion.
And don't forget, Cactus Jack at this time was working everywhere.
Yeah, very visible.
Because I was working everywhere, and I would run into Jack just in the most random places. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd be in Arkansas. and I'd be on a show, and Jack's going, "Hey, Chad, what are you doing here?" I go, "Oh, don't worry about me.
What the fuck are you doing here?"
Yeah, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
he was working for Burt. He was working for Cornette. I don't know that Rube that ran like that little spot stuff in Nashville. I don't know who that guy was, but he was working for him. So yeah, he was just, that dude Gary and then and like the Carolina, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He was working. He had to be working at least 6 days a week, and that's not even saying he's making a ton of money,
right?
Because let's be honest, what's he coming off of a halfway decent WCW run?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you tell me the time frame.
No, yeah, he's at this point he is just out of WCW. His last thing was he was the tag champs with Kevin Sullivan, right, Aaron? Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, it was him and Sullivan, and they were feuding with the Nasty Boys.
All right, so he was probably making $125,000 a year. So
he was teaming with Sullivan, and before
then it was Max Payne, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had been teaming with Max Payne. But
you're not going to hold it against him, are you?
No.
I mean, poor Max Payne.
Like his last big thing was that Broad Street Bully match or whatever at Spring Stampede
with the Nasty Boys.
And then he left WCW right as Hogan was coming in.
I thought you were going to mention Van Hammer. Good Lord. I was getting ready to turn this goddamn thing off. What do we fucking mean? It's 2022 and you're mentioning Van Hammer.
After the match, we get a promo from Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck about winning the titles. Aaron?
This is fun. I like this promo. Like, Mikey looks like he wants to cry. And he told Cactus, he's like, I promised my mom I'd never win another championship.
How much do you bet? I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. How many times do you think it took them to do that promo?
With those two guys, I don't know. It seems to me that Cactus Jack wasn't much of a double take kind of guy.
No, I'm not going to say Cactus at all. Cactus was not a double take guy because I specifically remember Cactus cutting promos, much like Funk. Mm-hmm. Like when he would cut the promo and he would just walk away.
Yeah, that's it. There's your promo. I'm done.
Yeah, and I mean, but some of these promos seem like they had to have taken a little bit of time because there's a lot of things that Paul wanted to be said that may or may not have been said. You know what I mean?
Right.
During the specific promo. So I'm sure they've done it again. Because I mean, I sat there, when Paul took an interest in me and he would tell me to stick around, and I'd be there till 3:00 in the morning, and I just couldn't take it anymore. Like I don't know, I can't hear Terry Funk sing Desperado anymore. I've had enough, just enough. I mean,
got to get up early and get back to Baltimore to try to cash that check. You're on a time frame here.
Not only that, the Betty bus only ran from a certain amount of time from the arena to the hotel. So worst case scenario is I'm going to have to get a cab, and that's more than half my check.
If the check doesn't bounce,
just to get the cab.
Up next, we get a video. Well, Joey discusses the Kane match from last week between Dreamer and Sandman. A video of the highlights from that whole angle, and then what I thought was fantastic. I think it's fantastic.
You don't want to talk about that music?
Oh, the music's terrible. The music sounds like a theme from a sitcom from the 80s with Tony Danza in it or something.
Like a fucking goddamn soundtrack from fucking Foxy Cleopatra or fucking Mother Jugs and Speed or something from the fucking 70s. It's like, what the fuck is this music?
I waited for somebody to say, down to the rendezvous. Like, it's a three-way. So you're going to say Three's Company too? Like, this is, yeah, I do. I totally, I don't know, understand who's in charge of doing that. I have to get on the Judge Jeff Jones tomorrow and figure out. Oh, he don't even work there anymore. He works for AEW. Yeah, he ain't gonna know.
But God damn, that music was fucking horrible.
Dude, horrible would be a compliment. It was wretched, it was rotten, and it was goddamn insulting. That's what I thought about the whole.
That's the name of the show this week.
It's funny. Did you see me reach for my pen?
Yeah, that's the name of the show this week. It was wretched, it was rotten, and it was goddamn awful.
It's goddamn insulting. I mean, that's what they've been doing. We've been doing it. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Like, we like ECW, and that's the reason why we're doing this. But we still have a ways to go.
Yep.
I mean, we still have to get through me getting fired.
The promo that is the segment that is at the end of this here with Woman and Sandman doing their promo is great because I love Woman. Sandman's trying to cut a promo, but Woman is needling him the whole time.
Browbeating him.
Yes, don't you quit. Don't you quit on me. Don't you quit. And he's like, you see what I got to deal with, Tommy? I love this. These two are great together.
He's like, this is worse than Peach's fucking Tommy Cairo. Like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's I agree, dude. I mean, you could put fucking Nancy in anything.
Yeah.
And clearly they've done that. Not just in ECW, but you know what I mean? They put Nancy in situations where she was made to look stupid, but she didn't look stupid. Mm-hmm. Remember Robin Green?
Yep.
Yeah.
She still didn't look stupid.
But yeah, Sandman and Woman are the best thing of ECW right now.
I wonder if he banged her.
I'm assuming if she's working here, Sullivan would probably be around, right? If she's working here, Sullivan's probably around while she's doing
Sullivan.
This. No.
I mean,
I know he's not on. I know he's not on TV or anything, but I don't know. I guess
he's booking WCW right now.
Yeah, I mean, when he left full gun, like full throttle, like gone. Like, because I think he was hired at WCW like basically overnight, you know? So it was like, hey, get the fuck out of there and get here. And then I think that's how that kind of worked. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
The next segment on this show is a matchup involving Chad Austin. He is escorted to the ring by his manager, Jason, and the Rockin' Rebel to face off against ECW newcomer, I guess you'd say, Chris Benoit.
Well, I mean, best match he's ever had. What has that guy ever did in his life? Well, never mind.
Nothing newsworthy I can remember.
No. I'm not gonna bring up what did Chris Benoit ever do in his life, or with somebody else's.
So what's the story? What's the story, Chad? What's the story on you and Benoit? Any comments here? Any insight?
I mean, the only thing I can tell you is this show that we're watching was part of it was a 3-show deal. Like, they taped like 3 episodes, and I was at my friend's house about 3 hours away, like just visiting, hanging out. And I just called my mom out of nowhere, and she said, hey, some guy named Paul keeps calling here, and he's wondering where the hell you're at. And I'm thinking, like, why? Like, I don't work here. You know what I mean? Like, and then literally I had to just get in my car and drive all the way to there. And I had to work Sabu. I had to work Rebel. And I had to work Benoit all on the same day. And, you know, I had no idea what was going on. But, I mean, apparently Paul had some sort of fucking, cheap labor.
Right.
You know? That's pretty much what I thought it was. And, yeah, I mean, I liked everybody I worked with. I mean, you know, except for that fucking one dude, I never had any problem with anybody.
That's what I was about to ask. I mean, do you have any memories of working with Chris? Was he easy to work with? Was he stiff? Was he?
Dude, this motherfucker asked me what the fuck I wanted to do. He said, "What do you want to do?" And I looked at him and I said, "Dude, you got a career. Like you got like you got like something ahead of you. I'm not gonna take my chance of fucking you up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like by hurting you. So whatever you want to do. And then if you watch the match, and then you look at any other Chris Benoit match, it's the same match. He does the deal with the the crisscross. I call it the crisscross applesauce with the leg thing.
Yeah.
He does that. He does the like diving headbutt. You know what I mean? Like he did all the hits.
Well, what I thought was interesting is that in it is they cut to like right when the match starts, they cut to like a Tommy Dreamer promo in the middle of your fucking match.
Oh, well,
Right at the start of it.
Well, damn you, Aaron, because that was my offense that they cut out.
That's what I was going to ask. Was did Paul get pissed because Benoit like let you do too much?
That's you know what I've never heard a definite answer on that, but that's what I've always thought. I thought that Paul like that Benoit gave me too much offense, and that's why he edited it out. Because I'm like,
because after the sorry, go ahead.
I'm thinking of all the stuff that I did, but you never saw any of it.
Well, that's what I was going to say here. I actually have wrote down these motherfuckers cut into the match with a Tommy Dreamer promo, and then there is a little there is a little back and forth after the promo, but not a lot.
But after the match, they do like a ECW replay or whatever, and they show all the shit Benoit did to you. So I'm thinking like Paulie was trying to get Benoit over, and then saw the match and was like, "Fuck, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to show Benoit being a badass, so I'll just cut out Chad's shit and then show so what Chris."
Pretty much. I have a feeling this guy Chris Benoit is going to be a bigger name than Chad Austin is. You know. Let's figure out what we can edit out of this match.
Well, the finish comes. Oh,
my wife just said that I'm a better husband than Chris Benoit.
I'm not even married, and I'm a better husband than Chris Benoit.
Good Lord,
Aaron.
It was kind of eerie watching the Rockin' Rebel and Chris Benoit throw down with each other. What?
You don't have any kids, and you're a better father than Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! You just popped a house.
It was it was fucking eerie a little bit with hindsight watching fucking Benoit and Rebel argue and fight.
Yeah, I'm surprised Chad made it out alive.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Well, it was a whole different time and place.
Well, the finish comes. Rebel trips Benoit, but Chad actually accidentally catches Rebel off the apron. Benoit hits a tombstone and then a headbutt from the top rope, of course, for the pin on Chad. And then we get a little tease here. Rebel and Chad arguing in the ring with Jason in between them. And then Jason cracks Rockin' Rebel with the TV title. There's your big breakup between Jason and the Rockin' Rebel. And I'm assuming that is setting up for the match you mentioned that you're going to have with the Rebel.
Jason knew where his bread was buttered. It was with me. I mean, I clearly was the breadwinner.
He looked in the ring and he was like, this is the only one that's going to make it out alive.
Yeah. I mean, Rebel's got to work tomorrow. And, you know, he's got his day job and stuff. And Chad's going to be here next weekend. So I'll stick with him.
Well, speaking of Jason.
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, that was a whole entire, like, I think that was like, honestly, to tell you the truth, Nate, I think that was just thrown together, like, last second.
Mm-hmm.
Like, none of it was meant to make any sense, I don't think. Just go out there and do all this, you know what I mean? Like, just do all this stupid shit, and then we'll wait for the gangsters to get here. Or,
tread
I don't
water,
know.
right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or we'll wait for whoever to get here. The Moondogs.
Canadian Wolfman.
Which I can't believe. I'm the only one that championed the Moondog to come to ECW. I told Paulie like 30 times, you gotta bring in the fucking Moondogs.
They would have fit right in.
With Public Enemy?
Yeah.
I mean, you got these dumb idiots, the Harris brothers, and I don't know, a couple other Phi Delta who gives a shit. You know what I mean? Like you have all these other tag teams.
Yeah.
Why don't you just bring in the fucking Moondogs? You could just go grab two fat blonde guys out of a flea market and throw them in them pants and put them in the ring.
Yeah, all you got to do is know two dogs' names, you know.
Spot, Spike, Cujo.
Here's Moondog Lucky and Moondog Noodles. Here they are.
Moondog Noodles. That's what it is. Yeah, I mean, isn't that right, Jess? Moondog Noodles. Like, dude, That's the name of the show, she said.
Moondog Noodles.
Moondog Noodles.
Well, speaking of Jason, the last match on this show, he's the TV champion. He is escorted to the ring by the Shooter, Dean Malenko, face JT Smith. JT Smith is back here in the ECW arena, and once again, JT is playing the injured babyface in this match as Dean Malenko shoots on JT at the beginning of the match, hurts his knee to give Jason the advantage. I don't have a whole lot of notes on the match, but that was the essential. That was the long and short of it. Jason.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of notes either. The last notes that I have, it says Dream or Stink. That's about the only notes that I have on the whole entire goddamn show. Dream. Yeah, I mean, anything to do with Jason. Let's be honest. I mean, we don't have to kid ourselves, you know, and pretend like Jason really had a spot there. Because even when he was my manager or whatever, whatever he was, I just kind of was just like, what am I doing with this goof? You know what I mean? I'd rather work Coliseum Video than dealing with this fucking clown over here.
Aaron, any notes from you on this match or observations?
Just that it's like you said, it was a quick thing with Jason now has Malenko as his shooter, and it's gonna develop into like a little mini angle where Dean's like fucking up Jason's opponents before the match, and Dean looked good. Like he looked like a badass. And
I wonder if that was the first time I met him, like in the locker room, because I remember like I have to know that I know who he was, right?
Yeah, because this essentially. That's what I'm wondering. That's the question I was going to ask you is, okay, so the tag title match at the beginning of the show is from the night that the NWA tournament happened. But I assume that the other matches on the show, like your match with Benoit and this match, didn't happen on that night. They happened on another taping?
Yeah.
Okay.
They happened on a Saturday afternoon. Like literally like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not saying my match was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but
right,
the show was.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was like a oh Jesus Christ, it was like a double or a triple like tape, because I remember I'm sorry, Buck. I was staying in my buddy's house, and I remember telling him that this is like 7 hours, and I stayed down his house, and it was only an hour away from the show. And I stayed down there, and I'm like, dude. They're taping like 6 shows. Like, I got to wrestle Stevie Richards 4 times. Rock and Rebel 3. I mean, and then I still got to do an angle with Sabu, where I get beat in the face with a cane or something. Yeah, I mean, yeah, those were rough, man. Like,
I bet.
I mean, because there wasn't at that point the guys like Paul Loria weren't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The guys like Mikey were starting to get pushed. So it was me and my faithful Donnie Allen just sitting there in the locker room.
Waiting for what's next. Yeah.
Waiting to see whose name you were written up next against. It's like, you can't keep beating me 3 times on TV,
Mm-hmm.
Even Frank Williams just got beat once on TV. You can't keep beating me on TV like every 10 minutes. Somebody who's doing the editing for the TV show has to go, look, we can't have Chad Austin on the show 3 times. like I mean, I like Chad, I know you like him, but we can't have him on the show 3 times. It's just getting beaten to powder.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up here because there is just the end of this is just a video on the NWA title tournament showing footage, of course, of Todd Gordon folding NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling, and in its place is Extreme Championship Wrestling. And then at the end, we get a promo from Shane Douglas and Matt Bourne, who has not yet been called Born Again, but that's where we're going in like a half the doink makeup. Very cool. I'm a big fan of that, to be honest with you, the Born Again gimmick. And I was actually a fan of what they did early with Doink in the WWF before Matt Bourne left. But I think this is good. This is good shit, pal.
What do you think the problem was
with Matt Bourne? I never heard anything about attitude. I always heard something about substances.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I mean, because like you weren't going to get too many guys sitting around in the ECW locker room at 2:30 in the morning watching. Love your book. Watching Matt Bourne, like with half of his dumb face painted like Doink, and the other half not painted at all, and cutting promos. And he must have cut, I don't know, 20, 30 promos. Every one of them were just as deep, as the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just sitting there going, this motherfucker, man, this is the same guy that worked in Portland? Like, for Christ's sake, he got his $20 from Don Owens, and he's in the ECW. Yeah, he was great. And and believe me, he wasn't a locker room. He wasn't going to be a locker room leader. I'll tell you that. No, he didn't set an example.
Well, I mean, but as far as I don't want to overstep it, but as far as cutting like a sinister, like you said, the word you used, deep heel promo, he was up there with Jake, I think. And I mean, he didn't get the length of attention or whatever, but
you nailed it. He didn't get the length. He didn't get the length.
Mm-hmm. And that was probably his own fault. Let's be honest, but really good stuff. And we're going to be watching it here in the next few weeks or so. But
Christ, you can look at the timeline of his career
from
when he was Doink to when he was there. How many stops did he make along the way?
Right.
I mean, the dude was passing through Memphis. The dude he made a stop in Knoxville. Yeah. I mean, everybody gave him an opportunity. He just, I don't know. I mean, that's just not one of my things. Like, I can't figure out how, like, how that works. I mean, they're offering you a lot of money. And all you got to do is show up.
Right. Be a good citizen.
At the end of the day, you're going to work, 6 minutes? Like, who's going to pay you to work 6 minutes? And I'm like, how can you not do this? I don't. And for some reason, we could never find Matt Bourne. Like, he found parts of the ECW arena that we never even knew they had. Like, there's me and Mikey and Paul L'Oreal just like throwing rocks, like hoping to hear somebody say something like, hello, like, is there anybody out there? That's the way it was. Like that. And the worst part is it got worse. I mean, Nate. I mean, we haven't even got to the parts where I wasn't even there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when the drug, like, I'm not a drug guy. I never was a drug guy. But there was a time where this was starting to be an issue because we had an account at the Econo Lodge, right down the road from the arena, about, I don't know, not miles, but blocks.
Right.
And we had an account there, but it's the Econo Lodge. It was like $13 a night. Like, I'm not kidding, because I literally wouldn't stay there. Like, I ended up going there one night, and the guy was like, it's like $13 or whatever. And I just said, never mind. So I just
I'm just gonna go.
I went to the Ramada, and I spent $130 to sleep in a fucking bed. Like not somebody's sofa. Like, so I'm spending $13 a night to share a room with Hector? What the fuck are you doing? I mean, no, I'm not doing that. So I just drove an extra few miles, and I spent the money just to,
to not roll over onto a hypodermic needle. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Especially in South Philadelphia. It's hard enough finding a classy hotel as it is in South Philadelphia, much less one without a hypodermic needle.
I don't want to have to sleep on Matt Bourne So I'm gonna spend more money.
Is that what they're calling the mattress? They're calling it Matt-born.
Mattress born, yes.
Yeah. Oh, your room comes with it comes with the new mat. Oh, you know what? He's been born again.
It's the Doink model.
Yeah, he's got paint all over the fucking sheets.
Imported from Portland, yes.
Because he beat up some broad or something. Or Don Owens? Hey, can we get Don Owens on the show?
I mean, I could try to dig him up.
Is he dead?
Oh, he's long dead.
Oh, he's long dead? What do you mean he's long dead?
Like, he's been dead for a while.
Like, since what? The early 2020?
Like Dory Funk. He's been dead for a while.
Well, Dory Funk still, I mean, he's still pretending like he's alive. Well, at least Marty's pretending like he's still alive. He doesn't even know how to act like he's not dead. Jeez, oh whiz. We gotta do it like the next time they have like one of them like conventions in Baltimore. We gotta get Dory and Marty just so I can get drunk and like yell at them
before it's too late.
Oh, it's too late. I mean, it's too late for the Lemonhead, but it's not too late for Marty. That bitch is a whip. I mean, she's the first one as soon as you fucking snap at him and go like, look at that little swirly thing on his head. He looks like a lemon head, and all of a sudden you're blocked. I'm blocked by Marty. You know, I'm like, what the matter with you?
So many potential names for this week's episode. I'm gonna have to put them in a hat and pull one out.
I don't know. I don't know either, pal. I'm just telling you this was a doozy.
Well, guys, any parting words for our listeners
I don't know.
before we sign off this week?
What does Archie Mitchell have to say? Nothing?
Nothing.
He'll listen tomorrow. No, it was a great show, man. I mean, the ECW show stunk. I mean, let's be honest. But just the conversation was well worth my hour of time.
I got nothing to say. My fucking battery's dying, so.
All right. Well, we will wrap it up then. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Aaron. And thank you to our listeners for listening this week. And we will see you next week as we continue Reliving the Extreme. Have a great
Reliving the
week,
Extreme.
everybody. Reliving the Extreme is a production of Maxson Media. All rights reserved.